Hello and welcome to your favorite Iron Port, the #1 platform for everything maritime in Ghana. It is proudly brought to you by Ghana Revenue Authority, GOIL, PLC Serene Insurance, Ghana Link, Meridian Port Services, and Phoenix Insurance. Iron Port is powered by Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, and our media partner is the Business and Financial Times. Viewers, historically, Ghana has made her mark as a respected maritime nation, producing thousands of seafarers since the days of the Black Star Line. The Regional Maritime University, being the foremost maritime education and training institution in Ghana and West Africa, has been responsible for churning out a large number of these seafarers. To improve the practicality of this training, RMU has entered a partnership with Bernard Schulte Ship Management Company to train and recruit these seafarers. This company has also put up an ultra-modern maritime training center on campus. This week on Iron Port, we touched extensively and discussed the role of professional training in meeting local and global industry demands, while touching on the collaboration between BSM and RMU. This is an excerpt of that discussion. Take a listen.
Let me just lay emphasis that the BSM Maritime Training Center there is not to duplicate what is currently happening in the Regional Maritime University, but it's a kind of a symbiotic relationship where this benefits from the other.
Right.
And as Engineer Locke rightly said, the core business of BSM in 2012 was to do recruitment.
Right.
So we started a recruitment, gaps were identified. Of course, nothing goes without challenges.
Yeah.
Our people on board face a very huge challenge. And trust me, the first 20, only one is surviving till today.
Yeah.
So it gave them, they began to look at it from a broader perspective, how to improve and let the people stay.
Yeah.
And where there is training.
Right.
BSM has a tradition of training to best standards. Because of this, they have other 5 maritime training centers across the globe. And we have about 10 to 11 ship management centers in the world. Then the crewing services center, as he said, which are about 28, of which Ghana is part of it.
Right.
And the university, based on the MOU and agreements, and decided to deepen the relationship with Bernard Schulte to let them stay.
Yeah.
So we are not reinventing the wheel, but to add value to training. And as Prof was saying, in the past, when you graduate from the university, Black Star Line was available.
Yes.
Engineer Law can talk more about those days. He's a beneficiary of that. I wasn't anyway.
Yeah.
So Black Star Line was there. And after the collapse of the Black Star Line, companies like Iran, Ethiopia came in to fill certain gaps, which over the years begin to dwindle. And BSM presence in Ghana wasn't because of COVID or the Ukraine-Russian war. They came in as an employer to really create job opportunities for the youth. So after the training center is almost completing this year, we've not taken over fully from the contractor anyway. Right. It's work in progress. So we are looking at that from the shareholding point of view, having in mind that we are not to duplicate what is already existing in RMU,
right,
down to benefit from each other. So other companies are now coming in after the COVID taught a lot of lessons to ship owners, as well as coupling with the Russian-Ukrainian war. Now owners are looking down onto Africa. I can see today we have a lot of other companies coming in to recruit from the university, the workforce. So what the shareholding is saying, we shouldn't look at it from a competitive point of view. There is no rivalry, because there is a lot of students that RMU graduates each year. And we are looking at not less than 60 a year
Right.
About 300 are graduating.
That's BSM.
Yes,
right.
BSM is looking at about 60 cadets from the various departments
Yes.
within the maritime industry. So we are not looking at it from a competitive point of view.
Yeah.
Because we can't, of course, employ every graduate from the university.
Absolutely.
So we need other players. And the vision of the university also to attract more others to come in to employ. So we being the pay setters, let me put it that way, to come in fully as a company to employ the BSM, is to now see how these gaps we found in the past will be addressed by these new companies who are coming into the workforce in the regional maritime university. So we are having talks with the major employers who are now in Ghana to look at it from that side. What the university is doing is basic, the IMO requirements training, the International Maritime Organization, into what we call the STCW, Standard of Training, Certification and Watchkeeping.
Right.
RMU strength is this, of which BSM is not to compete with them. So every company, as Prof. rightly said, it's a quite dynamic industry where changes are happening every day. And I saw in the intro where we are showing Japan building one of the latest LNG carrier, and looking at IMO idea to zero green effects. So this is quite a huge demand in training.
Right.
Because when the changes are happening, it always comes with training. So we are looking at speaking with these companies to come up with their need based on the vessels they operate. Once they are in Ghana, it's become a one-stop shop in the regional maritime university where they are doing the STCW and then company-specific training, which is out of the scope of the university, to give that training as a complementary effort in making sure the seafarers that we train meet up the international demand or international competition. Because they are out there, we have Europeans, we have Americans, we have Australians in the industry. These are developed countries. We are developing countries. So they are there to kind of have a collaboration with all the players in Ghana to take care of these gaps which were identified in the past, not to really invent or see the gaps that probably we had in the past, to improve upon that. That is what Engineer Locke meant by saying we are in discussion with the major players in the RMU after the wake of the September, the COVID as well as the Russian-Ukrainian. But these are the major seafaring countries.
Absolutely.
And Philippines, we know, is now saturated with workforce. India is also saturated. So now the world is now focusing on Africa, narrowing down to Ghana.
Right.
The reason is because we are English speaking, which is a good, positive thing that owners are looking out for.
Right.
So, and we have the youth. We have a very high youth population as well. So these are things that are attracting owners to come into Ghana to recruit. And we have a lot of ex-seafarers who have made it in the industry, who raise the flag of Ghana very high. And I'm referring to Ghana, I don't mean Ghanaians, but anybody that has passed through the RMU. You know, the RMU is a regional institution.
Absolutely.
It's comprised of 5 countries in one. And discussion with owners, especially BSM, we saw this as also as an advantage. So it's like using one stone kill two birds. Where if you are in the university, you are meeting all other nationality on one location. So you can spread the opportunities across the region.
Right.
So BSM, we are not only employing Ghanaians. Let me put it out there very clear. We employ everybody without restriction to nationality.
Right.
We believe in diversity, inclusion as well. to make sure that everybody has an opportunity that he or she deserves.
Absolutely. Right.
Maritime industry.
Okay. Let me come to Engineer Aloka Samoa. You are an engineer training superintendent at BSM. What do you look out for in the people that you train at the place?
Right. The basic requirement for our training is a graduation from the Regional Maritime University.
Right.
That is the basic. And then, of course, we are also expecting some documentation. To be a seafarer, the International Maritime Organization has clearly specified some qualifications for you to be able to continue in the profession.
Right.
That is where BSM comes in. Of course, let me say that some facilities that the Regional Maritime University lack and BSM has, they have the opportunity to use. And Prof would confirm this. And also when we are also doing some practical training and they have the facilities we also share. But basically, a certificate from the Regional Maritime University, all the proper documentation as a seafarer, we are looking at your physical health. Your health is one of the important things. And we also look at your psychic, how you are going to approach problem solving. That is all part of our recruitment process. RMU, one aspect that BSM also requires is the ability to work with the international community. And of course, RMU qualifies, so we normally don't stress that. By that I mean, when you come to RMU, you have people from different countries, basically from the 5 countries plus some others. The Regional Maritime University has quite a sizable amount of Nigerian population, even though Nigeria is not part of the Regional Maritime University. So
Nigeria is in part?
Nigeria, yes, it's not part of the regionalization. But their students come here. And BSM does not discriminate.
Like you mentioned,
like Captain Ado said. So for that aspect of being able to work in the international community, that is okay with the Regional Maritime University. Another thing we look for is your tenacity, how you can survive the marine industry. Once more, the Regional Maritime University is doing that, but we also confirm, and that is the paramilitary training, which the Regional Maritime University gives. And BSM is always collaborating with them, and some of the facilities also that they have, that they are doing the training with, especially survival. BSM puts a high premium on survival. Anything can happen at sea, and it's important that everybody who goes to sea is able to survive. Now, one aspect that we've not mentioned here is recruitment of ratings. The ratings don't do as much academic work as the officers do in the Regional Maritime University. Maybe Prof can add to that. But Regional Maritime University has also specified some basic training as per the Ghana Maritime Authority, GMA guidelines, that every rating who should go to sea on a Ghanaian ticket must have the basic training, which Regional Maritime University once more is doing. Captain can give you the details of that. So that is another thing that we also look for the ratings and officers. And then once you've done your Regional Maritime University things and you are physically fit, as specified by the Ghana Maritime Authority, and you have the practical aspects as per the university standards, then Regional Maritime, then the BSM will recruit you. And we have a rigorous recruitment process. As I've indicated. One of them is our English examination. And a professional examination, depending on your standard.
Your level,
Your level. Then you are giving appropriate work. And it's also computer-based. The exams are computer-based because in the modern maritime industry, if you are illiterate with respect to computers, then I'm afraid you'll be found lacking. And that is part of the training we also give. Because in our training, you are going to learn how to use the company's programs.
Right.
All the company documentation, and virtually on board the ship now, BSM has become paperless.
Right. Okay.
And so the people we are recruiting, both ratings and officers, they must be computer literate, and that is one of our requirements.
Right.
So one of our initial tests for you is computer based, and if you cannot use the computer, then basically you are out of the recruitment process.
Right. Yes, he indicated you would give us a rundown of some.
Yeah. I'll give a brief rundown on what he said, Engineer Locke said.
Yes.
And after that, I'm also going to make a passionate appeal to government.
Yes.
Because for me, it is obvious that...
Okay, I think showing on the screen is a BSM facility at the RMU.
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, for me, it's obvious. 80% of world trade is by sea, which is known.
Yes.
So what a critical place to look at if you want to develop your country.
Right.
We are very fortunate that we have a coastal line. So at least we are close to the sea. So why can't we leverage on it and make very good use of it?
Yeah.
Like Engineer Locke rightly said, initially, if somebody, for the ratings, and I'm talking about the ratings because he talked about it. Initially, if you wanted to go to sea, you didn't really need, especially for the ratings, you didn't really need any formal training. You go on board, you might have had some people who were working on board before, so you start as an OS, they give you hands-on training and so you start as a deckhand, a deckhand. And then you learn the terms we use on board, like port, starboard, forwards, aft, and stuff like that. Learn some chipping and painting and practical ropes work and stuff. And then you rise up the ladder. But then, like we rightly started by saying that safety is paramount, so it's now by SDCW need some form of training. At least you should go through some training in a maritime education and training institute. So RMU, for both the engineering and deck, drew a program, and for the deck side, I'd say I was very instrumental in the pre-sea vocational training program that we drew up. So we started it. It's an 8-week program.
Right.
So this is for somebody or a youth. The basic level is the JSS level.
Right.
So you come in, and we have lots of people out there. Because they don't know this, I want to use this opportunity to tell them.
Yeah.
So you come for the 8 weeks program, and at least by the time you are through, you have some knowledge about what you are expected to do at sea, right? So then from there, you have the opportunity to be employed by BSM or some other entity that is into employment. You go there, and then you can come back again for a 1-week oral exam, after which when you pass, you are given a certificate to work on board as a rating who will form part of a navigational watch or an engineer, an engineer rating or a wiper and oiler who can also help in a watch. For the engineers, they also have a similar program, but theirs is a little longer because they do it for 6 months. That is the marine engineering mechanic program.
Right.
So they go through a similar program where they are exposed to all kinds of practicals and stuff. So at least when he comes out and goes on board the vessel, he has lots of knowledge on what to do.
Absolutely.
Not just a novice.
Yeah.
If from the very beginning, if we all listened from what my colleague said, Captain Ado, he said the relationship between BSM and RMU is symbiotic, right? So it's like we benefit from each other. We're not crossing each other in anything or duplicating whatever we are doing. But we're trying to benefit from one another, the programs that we are running.
Yes.
But I just also want to look at it this way, because when Engineer Locke started, he said the very basics, if somebody had to transition to become an officer cadet on board any of their vessels for training, you have to graduate first from RMU.
Absolutely.
And that's a 4-year program. But we all know that in a computer, garbage in, garbage out.
Yes.
So where we are starting it, if the training is not excellent enough, then it's going to have some kind of ripple effect when the person transitions to BSM.
Right.
And BSM, as I know, are very thorough and they are very proactive. So they're moving with the times, the way the world is going. Now we have AI and everything. So they have top-notch facilities. They have ships that are very modern. They have officers that are well-trained and stuff. So they don't expect any less from the school or the entity doing the maritime education and training.
Right.
But God was so kind to us. I think it started somewhere around 2020. Right? And Captain Ado and myself, RMU had an encounter with the Korean Exim Bank to help the school modernize.
Yes.
So we can be at par with any world-class maritime institution. And it was a $147 million loan. Now it's increased to $153 million.
Right.
And Captain Ado and myself, together with Engineer Adilamte and a few others, were part of the project management team.
Right.
And in that, we were supposed to have a training vessel. Aside that, we're supposed to have state-of-the-art bridge 360 degrees simulators for training.
Yeah.
We're supposed to have lecture theaters. We're supposed to have other facilities that would aid in our maritime education and training. If that is done, and you know what? The thing started in 2020. There was a feasibility study and stuff. And now it's like it's stalled because it's got to Ministry of Finance. And they have to push for Parliament to sign the loan. This is very important. And I'm a little passionate about this because we want to use Ghana. You see, we have the leverage. We are English speaking, like Captain Ado said.
Yes.
And English is the international language for seafarers.
Yes.
And we are lucky that we speak English. So why don't we leverage on it? Just like Philippines that repatriates through remittances, seafarers are able to remit $4.5 billion every year.
Yes.
So why can't we do the same in Ghana? So this is an appeal to government, and I know they also are passionate about this seafaring thing. That immediately they should inform Ministry of Finance to make sure that the loan is signed before the end of the year. So that construction, and because everything is done, feasibility study and everything. And we have the Exim Bank of Korea in this country. They do have a representative in this country. So they should be up and doing. We should be able to sign the loan. And of course, it's a very flexible loan. An interest of 0.05, which is almost like a grant. It's for a 40-year period. So this should be done, and that would send RMU to the next level, which would be at par with every. And you know, the little problem that most maritime institutions have is having a trading vessel.
Yes.
So then that is going to put Ghana on the map because we'll be. South Africa doesn't even have a training vessel.
Right.
So that would showcase Ghana, and that would put us really on spot.
Right.
So that was Professor Captain Nana Ofosu-Boateng, the Dean of Maritime Studies at the Regional Maritime University, as well as Captain Joshua Ado, who is the country representative of BSM Ghana, and Engineer Alok Asamoah, who is an engineering training superintendent at BSM, and also a former rector of the university, telling us how we can develop Ghana's maritime workforce, leveraging on professional training. Now let us hear from you on the subject we have discussed. After we will go on break and then return with more news. Stay tuned.
Timothy Abayate says, hello Iron Port. I want to know at what age one can apply and also the type of vessel they employ sailors in.
On the officers, there's no age limit. But it's encouraged.
Yeah.
It should be very young.
Right.
For the rating program also, we're looking at youngsters who are 24 to 28 as the owner, because they are going to invest money to train you.
Yeah.
So if you're a certain age, you should come with a skill that they can develop with. But if you are of older age, or if you are new, and you look at maximum 28 without any skill, then invest to train you.
Right.
Henry also says, hello Iron Port. I have a problem with the RMU and GMA as well as BSM. BSM puts an age limit on rating and they do not tell the student when they enroll in the rating course. Also, GMA is not giving certificates of competency for fresh students and makes it hard to get a job.
BSM has invested a lot of money in hospitality.
Yes.
Looking at opportunities that are coming to train the hospitality staff for the cruise, like the passenger ships.
Yes.
Also within the center there, we are going to train people for the hotels as well. So it's both shore and offshore training.
Yes.
So we invested a lot of resources to bring it to the standard of training in hospitality.
Okay.
So the hotels, we've been knocking on their door to see what kind of training they have for their staff to train at the BSM Maritime training.
Okay.
Good energy brings you quality choices with Goil Super XP. Available in many Goil stations nationwide. It is fortified with special additives that help your engine perform better and use less fuel. Branch into a Goil station today and energize your ride with Goil Super XP, compatible with most vehicles. Goil Super XP will feel ya, huh? Will be feel. Goil, good energy. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Electricity, then pay your taxes. Yeah. Our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, streetlights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Talga, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifo, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is. You still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
MPS Terminal 3 is Africa's new state-of-the-art container terminal at Tema Port. For manufacturers, agro-processors and traders, the new port means business can be done faster. This infrastructure boost will improve Ghana's port handling capacity, connect more trading routes, and oil the engine of growth for the economy, creating great opportunities across all sectors as Africa's markets merge and become the largest trading bloc globally. MPS, we connect, you thrive.
Business and life can be like the sea sometimes. Sometimes serene, sometimes calm, sometimes turbulent, and at times it brings the unexpected. However it is like, trust Phoenix Insurance for your home, car, business, and marine insurance needs. Call 0302-246-319 or 0243-690-492.
At Phoenix, you experience a delightful service delivered with wisdom.
Welcome back, viewers. Now let us take our lenses to the global stage and pick a few international shipping and maritime related news. Houthi militants in Yemen have claimed they launched a 9-hour attack on the USS Harry S. Truman and a strike group using cruise missiles and drones. The group's spokesperson Yahya Saree alleged the assault forced the carrier to retreat to the northern Red Sea. However, US Central Command has not confirmed any successful attack and instead released images of the carrier group sailing undisturbed. The alleged attack follows reports that US and British forces may have supported an Israeli strike on Houthi positions in Yemen, including the Hodeidah and Ras Isa ports. Bloomberg reports that at least 15 tankers, some carrying Russian oil, are now stranded offshore due to damage to port facilities. CENTCOM reported that General Michael Erikuria visited the USS Harry S. Truman on January 12, reaffirming the U.S. Navy's commitment to maritime security in the region. Japanese shipping giant Mitsui O.S.K. Lines has named the new liquefied natural gas carrier MOL Azuri, which will be chartered by Total Energies Gas and Power Limited, a subsidiary of French energy firm Total Energies. The naming ceremony took place on January 10, 2025 at Hanwha Ocean's Joji Shipyard in South Korea. The vessel, measuring 294.9 meters in length with a 174,000 cubic meter tank, features advanced fuel-efficient man-energy solutions engines and is set for its first loading in the U.S. MOL also signed a long-term charter contract for another LNG carrier with JERA, a joint venture of TEPCO Fuel and Power Incorporated and Chubu Electric Power Company. This new vessel will be built at Samsung Heavy Industries Georgia Shipyard and is scheduled for delivery in 2026. MOL recently named another LNG carrier, Limail, at China's Hundong Zhonghua Shipbuilding Yard as part of Qatar Energy's massive LNG fleet expansion program.
For our word of the day today, we'll tell you what we mean by offshore operations.
Offshore operations. In the maritime industry, the term offshore refers to activities, structures, or areas that are located away from the coastline or in open waters. It typically encompasses operations conducted beyond the territorial waters of a country, often involving the exploration, production, and transportation of natural resources such as oil, gas, and wind energy. Offshore operations can include offshore drilling, offshore wind farms, offshore construction, and offshore support services.
Today's health and safety tip focuses on stress management.
Stress management. Stress can creep up in our day-to-day lives and affect how we think, feel, and perform in the workplace. Managing life stresses like meditation, progressive relaxation, spending time in nature can support our mental health, improve productivity at work, and reduce the risk of workplace conflicts, injuries, and accidents.
Let us now take a look at the schedule of vessels that have berthed in the port of Tema and Takoradi and at the anchorages of both ports, as well as those expected in the coming weeks, plus the Bank of Ghana exchange rates, which you may need to know to clear your cargo with.
This brings us to the close of today's edition of Iron Port. We hope you've been informed and educated. Remember, all Iron Port content can be found on our YouTube channel, Iron Port. Subscribe, like, and share our videos. Thank you for watching.